Monday, September 22nd's double twos. We're going to go over a couple of things. Penny's anniversary. Everybody hears me talk about her. I will show her picture because it was her gotcha day. I actually did go to the Apple store and I have a new iPhone Pro 17 Pro. I also got to watch the AirPods, the whole deal. So we'll talk about that. 4 things I learned from separating my Alpha Picks portfolio, because I've separated that into a different portfolio so I can track it a little bit better now. My personal wins over the last month, I will tell you exactly. There's like 8 or 9 of them. Exactly what I've been up. Key levels. We'll talk about those, and we'll talk about in single stocks some of the memory plays that are up significantly since I put them out there. So we'll talk about all that. But like I said, the first thing we're going to look at is Penny. Okay. I adopted her 7 years ago, and she came from a hoarder's house. She was known as girl number 7 when I first got her. And that's her rolling in grass clippings. It took us about a month to get the grass clippings off. But Penny, happy gotcha day. This is her on the couch. That's pretty much her thing. And if she had a Tinder profile, I put it out there. The Tinder profile would be I hate squirrels. That's it. So you're not here for Penny. We're here for stocks. Okay. So the second thing that I want to talk to you about personally is I got a new iPhone. I ordered a new watch and AirPods. They're coming in later. But let me tell you, it took just about an hour to move from an iPhone Pro, iPhone 13 Pro, to the new 17. No issues whatsoever. Now, moving from visible service, moving from the old 13 Pro, my visible phone service, again, I have visible and it is down here. The deals are awesome. Okay. Here are the plans. And literally they are giving you these plans at like half. It's crazy, crazy cheap. This was so easy. And I got to tell you, it was literally logging into the app on my new phone and saying, this is my new phone. That was how easy it was for me to switch. I didn't have to contact anybody, nothing. And it moved over to the new phone. Unbelievable. And this is annual. It's not, you can get annual pricing, but this is the full monthly price, including taxes and fees included. And it's full. It's unlimited. $19, $29, $39. I have the $29 one. Now, they change it all the time, but I get it at $29, this Visible Plus service. I get a watch included. So I got the Ultra watch, but it was so easy. So if you're thinking of upgrading, honestly, it was super simple. Again, I can't, the Visible phone service, Apple does it right. Visible does it right. I don't understand how anybody can't get a new phone or has problems. It was super simple. And the Apple store, FYI, was packed. Apple's up 1%. 4-hour algorithm had you in here at 239. You're at 247. Would I be buying at 247 if I didn't own it? Probably. Because I think you're at a $260, $270 stock at some point over the next 365 days. It is a really good stock. It's just expensive. You have to understand it's expensive. And I want to tell you, are we in a bull market or is this a bull trap? Because you're going to see articles like this come out. And the bull trap, just kind of spoiler, if you can't read the article, go and Google Dow Transports, because Dow Transports have been a signal in the past that we're heading into a recession. And you can read all about what the Dow Transports are and things, but this has been a theory for at least a month. And if you said, oh, we're going, the Dow Transports are a key, and you just, you stayed out of this market for a month, let's go to August 22nd. Where are you trading on the Qs? You were down at 560. So you've made 5% since then, just on the Qs. Imagine if you had done SQQQ, you'd be way down. So again, keep the noise in your mind and keep it there. but don't let it affect your decisions, because the price that you pay is all that matters. And right now, the trend is your friend, and the trend is up. We are pulling back a little bit, but the trend is up. And if you ever want to see about the trend and longer term, just understand this is a weekly chart. When in doubt, zoom out. Find your trend lines, touch 3 points. That's it. Okay, this was a great article. I will put the link in the newsletter. If you can't read it, I was able to read it. It's a great article. Don't think that you have to pay for it, though. I'm sure there's a way to get Wall Street Journal, find a friend that can gift you the article. It's a good article. I believe it, but I'll believe it when I see it in the price. Now, I want to point this out to you. This is a video. If you go to the Daily Stock Pick YouTube page, okay? And you just go to playlists. There's a playlist called Tools I Use. And this is a list of all the tools. You can see TrendSpider, newsletter, blah, blah, blah. There's one down here on the bottom right behind my head. I bought $50,000 of Alpha Picks portfolio, okay? This particular video, it includes the steps of buying Alpha Picks. Now, what is Alpha Picks? Alpha Picks is a data-driven portfolio that gives you a fantastic return. This is through September 11th. So it's been updated. I think we're closer to 250% return. Okay. 2 data-driven stocks per month. One on the 1st, one on the 15th. By the way, listen to this rant because I'm going to give you the most recent freaking, they just published in the Investing Experts podcast, the most recent picks. So I can give you the recent picks now. But this is a great portfolio. And I want to tell you the 4 things I learned, because what I did over the past couple of weeks is I've moved my Alpha Picks to a separate account. So I typically buy the Alpha Picks in a brokerage account, okay? And it was in my main brokerage account. But because it's close to 35 stocks, it kind of messes with my my other picks, and I get confused. And again, I like 10 to 15 stocks that I can manage. When it gets to this, it got a little confusing. So I called Fidelity and I said, hey, can I create another account? Yes. Will it affect anything? No. It's just a separation. And it was great. So I want to give you the things I noticed when I broke it out. The overall portfolio is up 60% since I first started buying last August. I had several additional inflows to the portfolio. I followed this exact process. The process in this video, I follow the process every time. So this video is exactly what I do. There's no difference. Every time I add to the portfolio, this is what I do. But sometimes I do go into the portfolio, and if you're on your homepage and you have Alpha Picks, I will just go into the portfolio. I will go over to the Alpha Picks section, and I will just buy some of the strong buy stocks. I use TrendSpider right here to do the charting of the stocks to determine which ones I want to add to. So it's taking all the tools, like you're a plumber. You don't just have a hammer if you're a plumber. You have all your tools and you take them and you find the opportunities. Okay. So here are the 4 things. 1, I'm greatly overweight on the winners. 20% of my account is CRDO, which is a great stock. Okay. CRDO was a fantastic winner. Again, this came in January. It was rated the number 1 the top 2025 stock. And Steve said, this is going to have a good year. What has it done? It's doubled, nearly tripled since then. So 20% of my account is that one. 10% of my account is AppLovin, which is crazy. Because this, again, is one of those winners. This was a buy the dip situation where I bought this dip. And this has been an Alpha Pick since November 2023. So I don't have the 300% that they have in the portfolio. I'm up a lot on this one because I've added to it. My 3rd largest position is actually probably the biggest winner of the year, CLS. Okay? Again, which should have been the one I added to the most, because this dip at 77, you're at $253 right now. That trigger in TrendSpider to buy an alpha pick. Again, add to the winners. I don't cut the losers. I keep them at 1% of the portfolio because that's the way it works. And I teach you over here how to buy this stuff. But again, that's the first thing I learned is I'm greatly overweight the winners. The second thing I learned, I bought last year in August 2024, my first batch. Since then, I have added quite a bit more. I didn't even know how much I bought through the same process and allotment size. I currently have 6 positions, 6 of the 30 that are up over 100% in 1 year. With the top winner being AppLovin at 300% returns, but I think it's like 3,000% since November 2023. But again, that's the second thing I learned is that I've got 6 positions up over 100% in just over a year, and I've added to those. Okay. The third thing I learned, the portfolio has grown incredibly. I have to add more than the 1% I was buying that I thought was 1% of the portfolio. It's not. So remember, when your portfolio grows, you have to add more to the portfolio in order to have that new position, because every 1st and 15th, you need to add a position of 1%. So you may have to rebalance some positions. You may have to take some cash. If you don't have 1% to put into the portfolio every 2 weeks and you like the pick, you may have to do that. Because remember, I've been adding 2%, what I thought was 2%, but because I'm up so much, it was actually like 1.2%. So I thought I was making big purchases on these most recent ones. I wasn't. Now I'm able to understand that, hey, I look at the portfolio value and I have to add 1% on the 1st and the 15th. Again, separating that portfolio allowed me to do that. And the fourth thing I learned, okay? The fourth thing I learned, I haven't been adding enough to the winners. I'm going to change that going forward. I'm going to keep a closer eye. And again, having that portfolio broken out allows me to keep a closer eye on each position. So that's it. Now, let me highlight the one person who recently purchased the portfolio, and they had mentioned 2 of the most recent picks weren't working out. Let me point out September 1st pick, okay? It's pointed out right here. Steve basically mentions it in this Investing Experts podcast. It is Kinrose Gold, KGC. That was the pick on the 1st of September. KGC. I thought I bought 2% of this one. I didn't. But you know, if you go back to September 1st and you look at where this one was trading, okay, September 2nd was the actual one. It was $21. You're at $23 right now. Let's see, in pre-market, you are at $24. That's more than a 10% move. Okay, as of Friday, I was up 5.5%. And the September 15th pick, again, that wasn't much. I'm up 7% on that one. I don't think he mentioned that one, but I'm up 7% on that one. So again, these stocks aren't meant to be traded. They're not meant to be bought and short term. These are long term. I just bought a larger amount, something any subscriber to the portfolio could do. And just one of those buys where I bought like it paid for the entire year, the subscription cost, because not only do you save $50 when you click on my link, but again, it paid for the entire year. Again, it's about risk reward. And Steve, in this Investing Experts podcast, he brought up 3 of the picks that I've added to that I've been trading a lot. Okay, first one, we just looked at KGC. Second one, COMM. This one I bought a ton of, and it was a pick down here. This was a top 2025 second half pick on June 15th. Where was this one trading? It was trading at $5. Where are you right now? $16. Literally 3 months later, you have 300% in this stock. So again, you could have had Seeking Alpha Premium and gotten this one. And the third one that he brings up that I hold quite a bit of SSRM, SSR Mining. Okay? This one I hold quite a bit. I bought it around, somewhere in the July timeframe. It's doubled. It's doubled. I forget when I bought this one. Maybe it was after those earnings. I forget exactly when I bought. But he's still saying these are still good buys with fundamental reasons. Again, you can listen to this podcast. It's 100% free. Once you're done with that podcast, go over to my link tree right here and do the bundle. Because not only do you get the top second half stocks, the top first half, you get to do all the research that Steve does. You can follow along with that podcast 100%. And you get alpha picks in this. You save $159. So it's very, very simple. And Steve brings it up. Go and listen to that podcast. It's a great podcast. I haven't listened to it yet. I just found it. But I will go and listen to it. Okay? Now I want to go over some personal wins. Because there are some, and I will bring up memory in a little bit. But as I said, the top winners on Friday were the last two alpha picks in my portfolio where I bought more than the allocation. It was also IREN, okay? IREN, which has been a big winner, and I've said it out there a lot, risk reward. This is a huge risk. Don't get any mistake wrong. This is a huge risk. But if you got in there back at 17, where a lot of us got in because the paid subscribers, I put it in the newsletter, okay? Then you're up over 100% for those that celebrate. Okay? You are up, let's see, 123%. But that's not the only one that I've done, okay? BMNR. This is Tom Lee's Ethereum Trust. This is like MicroStrategy. I'm up 40% since I bought September 3rd, and I made that very clear to the paid members. I may have made it very clear to even the free members that just listen. Coinbase, I'm up 7%. This one's down in pre-market. It is down 2%, but I'm still, and I've said this, I know I said this on the podcast, not behind a paywall. I said it's putting in that floor at 300. Where did I buy? $300. I'm up 7%. Probably even more. It's probably up over 10% now. I know I made Hood. I said buy it under 100. This was a big winner. It's up at 123. I'm going to add to this one. I'm up 27% since I bought September 5th. Okay. I also bought a top 2025 second half stock on August 6th. I'm up 41% on that. I also bought another top second half stock that I bought September 4th. I'm up 25%. I made mention that, hey, I was listening to Warren Buffett's buys and he said UNH was his big buy. I just shut up and bought. I'm up 20% on this buy. Okay. And IREN, like I said, I bought this one August 11th. No, let me type. I can't type today. I have it down. I bought August 11th. So it wasn't even at that 17. August 11th was this big pop. About 8. I'm up 113%. I sold half and I added more. So it's not just about alpha picks. If you say, hey, he's just shilling this, it's not just about alpha picks. This is a bull market. I still don't have any losers in my personal portfolio identified as trades. I'm adding to the winners. Ones I'm looking at still, open door. I've been very clear about this. This is a YOLO trade. I haven't gotten into open. Where is it in pre-market? $9.12, down 5%. I don't know when I'm going to get in, but I will get in. Again, I've identified it as something I want. Fannie Mae. This one I've identified as a YOLO trade. Okay? It's turning around. Did you buy at 15? Because you're now down at 13. When did you buy? Did you buy at $8? Why did you buy up here at 15? Again, you have to identify when you buy these things. But these are YOLO trades. If I miss out on them, I miss out on them. But some of the second half stocks, by the way, 1 week performance. I'm going to put this in the newsletter. 1 week performance of the top second half stocks. One's up 16%, one's up 9%, one's up 8%, another one's up 4%. There's only 2 that are losers. 2 out of the 10. And then you look at the top second half stocks. It's not too late to get in because we're in a bull market. The top 2025 stocks, the top one was up 13%, the second 6%. This is 1 week. This isn't year to date. This is 1 week. So again, these lists that are in premium and alpha picks have benefit. And I'm even going to put in the September watch list that I have. 1 week performance, top stock pick, 15%, second, 12%. Ironically, of the like 15 or 16 stocks that I have in this watch list, and it's on the newsletter, all you have to do is go down to the paid section right here. This has everything that you need. August had a huge win, and September's watch list is even better. And let's go up ones that I brought up. Okay, beginning of the year. One stock that I brought up that I said, hey, this is going to be part of a portfolio that I put together for the paid subscribers that should help beat the S&P. This one, just since January, up 68%. It's Corning. Guess what glass is on the iPhone? It's Corning. Okay, that's a winner. And for anyone complaining, hey, you're doing all this for paid subs, just look at last week. Okay, I brought up memory. It's going to be a big play with all of this AI stock. Okay, first one, STX 5-day return, 7.53%. Okay, WDC, I also brought that one up. 5-day return, 4%. I also brought up SanDisk, SNDK. SanDisk, which isn't covered by the quant. 5-day return, 17%. So again, go and read this story in Seeking Alpha. They are strong buys. Storage and memory stocks lead S&P as AI frenzy broadens. Seagate and Western Digital, which I brought up, they are both top 2025 winners, and they weren't. Remember, Palantir was the winner up until like July, and then memory came in and took it over. And I've given members a lot of that. Now let's talk about another stock that I said. I remember when I said SOFI would get to 30, just made new all-time highs for the first time in 4 years. This was a clear trade on a weekly chart that I've identified for quite a while. And then it broke out and it retested back in April. In April, you could have bought this for $8. April, you're at $30 now. $30. And again, in over 4 years. Now, maybe you want to use the 4-hour algorithm because that got you in at $13 here in June. And you can see the results here in TrendSpider, 232% versus 221% if you just bought and held. Bought and held is fine, but I'd rather have the 232 and provide me some safety from some of the downturns that you see. It's a volatile stock. Now, do I think SOFI is going to go higher? It's expensive. You're going to have to put up with we talk about beta last week. I think it was last week or the week before. Beta risk right here. 24-month beta, 2.37. So you're going to trade at 2 times the S&P. So you're going to have to put up with some of that volatility. But again, is SOFI going higher? Now, nuclear went crazy on Friday. It's energy. Nano nuclear up huge. OKLO up huge. OKLO skyrockets to new all-time high, leading huge rally in nuclear. Why? Trump is talking about nuclear. Understand, none of these names other than Cameco, CCJ, actually have a revenue stream. So these are all theoretical. But nuclear is going to happen. You're picking winners right now. OKLO is picked as a winner. And here you have it. The last time OKLO was trading at $6, today it just broke. Last year, it was trading at $6. It just broke 120. Now, risk, reward. I will put this out there. OKLO is incredible. no revenue, up 1,527% in a year. They found insider trading, founded by a husband and wife, both have no experience, no research publications. Okay, they do have strong educational backgrounds. One small thing I've noticed on their website is that the list of achievements stop at 2021. Is this just crazy? I would say OKLO is crazy. It doesn't fit my risk reward. If I were identifying this one, I would say it's a trade. Why? They don't have any money. Look at the financials. $73 million. There's no revenue here. There's none. No revenue. So again, you have to do your research if you're going to get into this. If somebody comes to me and says, what do you think of OKLO? I don't own it. That's what I think about it. I'm never going to tell you stay away from it, because if you go from $6 to $120, why would I tell you to stay away from a stock like that? And the other set of stocks that are going crazy, quantum computing. Want to know my quantum computing bets? It's Google and Microsoft. That's it. Maybe NVIDIA, because they've got investments in quantum. Am I in Rigetti? No. Am I in any of the others? No. No. Again, risk reward. If it fits your profile, go and get it. If it doesn't, then just stay away. There's plenty of other opportunities in this market. Alpha picks. Am I making 1,000% off of Alpha picks? No. But it's risk reward. And that's what you have to understand. The Oracle shot up. We can look at Oracle. Oracle shot up 4% on Friday. Why? Trump is saying the TikTok deal is done. But Oracle also may be in talks with Meta on a deal like OpenAI. So OpenAI promised that they would spend $330 billion with Oracle. They don't even have $330 billion in revenue. Now, Meta, if they promise $330 billion with Oracle, they have the money. That's going to push this stock higher. Okay? And speaking of big near-term winners, IREN, which we just went over, this is up 10% in pre-market. It was up 11%. NVIDIA, AMD, and Focus is IREN by $670 million worth of GPUs. Now, I put in a bet on AMD. I switched some of my position from NVIDIA to AMD. Why? I think AMD may have a bigger bounce. Now, I identified it as a long-term buy and hold, but I bought it at 160. It's at 157. Okay? It's a long-term buy and hold. It's not a trade. But again, with news like this, pumping IREN up, and make no mistake, IREN is expensive. It is expensive. 39 times forward earnings. Okay, its growth, fantastic at 167% year over year. It's risk and reward. This one, what does Wall Street think that it's worth? They think it's worth $30. It's 22% downside. 22%. It's got a 10% short interest. What's its beta score, the risk? Let's go down and look. Where is the risk? There it is. 2.72. So you're going to trade almost 3 times the S&P between up and down. Again, risk reward. I've given you the winners that I've had. Now it's about finding the winners of the future. Daniel Newsom. Here's the top 15 growth performers of 2025. You should own at least one. At least one. You should. I mean, Palantir, do you own Palantir? QuantumScape, TEM, did you follow Nancy Pelosi into TEM? ONDS, OUST, I brought that one up before. Hood, I brought that one up. Nebius, we know Nebius. IREN is up more than Nebius. You know, Open Door, OKLO, again, own one of these and it could make your portfolio, it could earn 10% of your portfolio. But you need to know what's coming up. And not just trades, you need long-term investments as well. So some of these identify as long-term investments if you want. Now, Catalyst Watch this week, it's identifying volatility. Tesla and Wolfspeed are set up based on options. This is the best article. Remember, if Tesla is going to trade, then you can do leverage DC ETFs like TSLQ or TSLL. Whatever you want, you can do those. If there's volatility, identify them as a trade, and that's where you can do it. And again, I use charts. And in this paid section and the education section, I show you everything as how I use charts. Okay, so Wednesday we've got KBH, which is KB Homes. That's reporting on Wednesday. Interesting. Am I playing it? Probably not. Housing is something with, as interest rates come down, it should go up. Thursday, you've got core portfolio. You've got Costco earnings. You've got Pure Storage, which I talked about. Now, Costco is expensive. Even though it's down, 52-week range is between 867 and 1078. It's right in the middle of its 52-week range, but it's expensive. They already did a membership raise, so we know that's not coming. And this is a company that makes its money off of membership. 52 PE. Do you want to trade 52 times forward earnings when something like Nvidia is trading at close to 30? No. Revenue growth of 5%. Compare it. Where is your risk and reward? Does that mean that this one's going to go down? No. Wall Street thinks this is a 12% upside at 1,072. I don't own Costco. I'm not interested in Costco. I own Walmart because it's just cheaper. And I think they have better growth. But am I right? I don't know. I mean, you can, again, here in Seeking Alpha, we can select Walmart right here. And we can say, okay, let's look at the two. And let's look at the metrics and go to performance. And we'll go to total return because that includes a dividend. And Walmart does have a dividend. We'll look at that over 1 year. Walmart is up 32%. The S&P is up 16. Costco is up 6. 3 years. Costco's up 95. Walmart's up 137. 5 years. Okay. Costco's up 203. Walmart's up 140. I like Walmart. It's about what you want, about the time that you want to put in. Friday. We have a CPE, which is the inflation number. Expect this to push the narrative. If it's lower, the market's going to say, ooh, more rate cuts, probably going to go higher. But that's not a good thing. Trouble may be looming. Powell may not want to cut rates if the inflation is unstable. Remember, actual inflation is bad. Now, I want to talk about an earnings that is coming up. The biggest one this week, I think, Micron. And this is what's interesting, okay? Micron is set to report full quarter earnings after the market closed on Tuesday, with analysts projecting 142% year-over-year surge in earnings per share. 142%. Now, I will tell you, you go down to top stocks right here. This is the top ranked quant stock, okay? So the quant is saying, hey, it's not expensive. They're saying the valuation at 20 times forward earnings is not expensive. Their revenue is only growing 58%, so their earnings per share is growing by 146 is what it's expected. Their profitability, fantastic. Their momentum, unbelievable. 6 months, you're up 60%. 3 months, you're up 33%. 9 months, 86%. 1 year, you're up 82%. And again, the expectations are high because nobody's bringing these down. So just understand, if you're holding Micron, you need to know where the price is relative to moving averages, relative to the trend. Okay, the 4-hour algorithm had you in here September 4th at 121. You're at 163 right now. Your average win on this is 18%. Yes, the 4-hour algorithm beats buy and hold. Do you want to lock in some profits? Again, understand what stocks you own, where they're trading, and what the most likely reaction to earnings might be. This is at an all-time high, I think. I mean, even if we scroll out to a monthly. Yeah, it's at an all-time high. That previous high right there at $97 was the high in June 2000. So you are at an all-time high on a very cyclical stock. Okay, this is a commodity in some respects. So understand what you own, what the earnings might happen. Doesn't mean that this doesn't pop to 200 based on some crazy number that they put out there with guidance. But again, understand your risk and reward. Now I want to go over some scans in TrendSpider. Remember, you can get any of these tools by going to my link tree right here. TrendSpider, it's on sale, $50 a month. Okay, I also recommend the Premium and Alpha Picks, the bundle. The first link on Linktree is TrendSpider. You can get that. If you don't want to pay for the entire year, go and get a 2-week trial, okay? You only get my 4-hour algorithm when you sign up for the yearly plan. But if you want to try it, it's like $20. I don't exactly know what it is, but go and browse the TrendSpider store. Import things, strategies, watch lists, indicators, whatever you need to do your research and understand where your stock is. But let's look at some of these. In the core portfolio, Netflix has a buy at $12.20. Okay, this one beats buy and hold, and it wins 59% of the time. There's 22 positions over the last 24 months. Average win is 10%. It's something to take notice of. Every time you've been on this 200-day right here, it's been a winner because you're trading up there. Why? The trend is your friend. It's an upward trend. All the way since 2022, this has been in an upward trend. Now, are we going to see this one flatten out a little bit? Maybe. It's a little bit expensive. But again, understand where the stocks that you hold trade. Now, Uber, on the other hand, I've said it many times. It's a $100 stock. Guess where it is this morning? $100. And the MACD is telling you, because my 4-hour algorithm is based on the MACD, it's literally telling you it could have a move higher. Because the 4-hour algorithm gave you a trigger today. Hey, buy more. But you should have bought at this 94. This should just be an indication that, hey, we probably have a move higher. Me at 100, I'll probably start to trim this a little bit. But the trend is my friend. I won't trim it until we see some weakness. This wasn't a trade. This is a long-term buy and hold, and I'm going to continue to add to this one. Now, a top second half 2025 stock that I want to give you. GFI. This one has a trigger today, but you should have bought it at 26. But this one's telling you, hey, there may be more room to run. Don't you want to wish you had this at $26? Because if you had this at $26 today, just a month and a few days later, you're at $41. And again, the 4-hour algorithm takes emotions out of this. You're up 58% in 49 days, just over a month. Again, GFI, if you had this on a watch list, you could have said, hey, set an alert for when this one is a buy next time, would have given you an alert today in a text. You don't have to sit there and watch the charts. That's what TrendSpider gives you. And again, the TrendSpider platform, you can get any of these services, any of those plans. But between TrendSpider and this pack, this bundle of Seeking Alpha Premium and Alpha Picks, it's the best tools that I have out there to manage my portfolio. I've given you a bunch. So go out there, do your due diligence, understand your risk, get your rewards. We're in a bull market. Does it mean it's going to last forever? No, but this market is super easy. And if you're not taking any risk, I urge you, take $100, whatever you can afford. $10. If all $10 is all you can afford, take $10 and put it on a risky stock. But find and do the research. And you don't need paid tools. I used FinViz for many years. I used Active Trader Pro for many years. So again, do your research, find the stocks that you like, and take some risk. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great day. See you. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.